Yo, what is up, YouTube? So is anyone here excited to be laid off? Well, someone who posted this on Blind seems to be excited that they just recently got laid off, and this person is working, I believe, at Twitch at Amazon. And of course, Twitch had a bunch of layoffs last week. So I just want to take a look at this post and give you guys my thoughts on it. So let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so the title of this post says, anyone else excited to be laid off? Sorry in advance to anybody else who was also laid off. After holiday vacation ended, I was extremely depressed about going back to work. I have been feeling sad for years, but thought I needed the money, so I've been grinding this whole time. And I think a lot of people can definitely relate to this, even myself. But then suddenly, I got laid off and will be paid out 6 figures. Holy crap, very privileged, awesome position to be in, man. Congrats. I realized that I don't really need that much money to survive. I just need to keep my expenses in control and make some money on the side. I can travel the world and be free doing a little bit of freelance work and still maintain my net worth. That is a great position to be in, my brother. The realizations of freedom are overwhelming. In one day, my life changed and suddenly I felt free from the rat race. Does anyone else feel the same way? Also in the same week, I received offers from investors to fund me to build a new startup so I can work on that remotely if I choose that route. Yeah, man, you are in a very privileged and a great situation, so congrats to you there. And you said, what, 6-figure payout? I mean, I don't know exactly what Amazon's policy is, but I'm assuming it's probably a week's worth of severance for every 6 months worked or something of that nature. So, I mean, you've probably been at Twitch and Amazon for over 10 years. So for you to get a 6-figure payout with also your PTO time and everything else combined, I mean, you could probably have a nice little time off with that money and travel the world, like you said, and enjoy the things that you've always wanted to do. So big congrats to you there. Unfortunately, I don't think a lot of people are in a privileged situation where they just have a ton of savings and they can just do whatever they want. A lot of people have other commitments. They might have families and kids where they need to find something else. Hopefully, most people out there who work in tech don't have situation where they're living paycheck to paycheck and that they have enough of a buffer to get by, because it looks like this extended downturn in the economy is probably going to continue for a little bit in 2024. I don't see us rebounding in the next 6 months and being on another bull run here at any time. But to answer your question, is anybody else excited? I mean, I don't know about other people out there, those of you on Blind who are reading this thread. For me personally, I wouldn't say that I would be excited to be laid off, but if the hammer dropped on my team and myself, in particular, would I be excited? I think initially I might be a little bit in shock, because you always think it can never happen to me. But especially when you hear about other people getting laid off, your friends, colleagues, or even the people that you work with. I also heard last week a bunch of people from Discord, from Unity, from Google got laid off, and it hits a little bit more close to home when you hear those things. For me personally, though, it wouldn't be a great feeling, but I think I'd be okay. And I think it's because I have enough savings where I can choose not to work for 6 months or a year or even longer than that if I wanted to. The part for me that would be a little bit discouraging, where I would be a little bit anxious about what would I do instead. You know, typically we spend 8 hours, maybe even more on a daily basis, Monday through Friday, right, to do our day jobs. But that leaves a pretty big gap. And for me, the bigger concern would be, what would I do to fill up that time? Right? And I think I've talked about this in one of my previous videos, that I would probably use that time to travel. I might go back home and spend time with my family. I might pick up other side hustles or work on my side projects, maybe even spend more time investing into this channel or other things that I can grow that can potentially be other sources of income. But those aren't guaranteed, right? And you need also the discipline and the willingness to invest that time elsewhere. And so for me, I think personally, just figuring out what to do with that time and not getting lazy would be the biggest concern that I have. But I also wouldn't get super stressed out about it. Unfortunately, not everyone has that luxury, so I can imagine other people might not feel that same way. But for me personally, that's how I would feel. And especially with this economy going, my business unit and our org, I think we're doing pretty well. But you never know, right? I mean, companies can always decide, hey, even though this team is doing well, it can do better if we cut 10, 15, 20% of our team. And let's just have the bare minimum. I mean, we've heard Elon Musk, I mean, he literally cut Twitter in half, right, over the past year and a half. And Twitter is still functioning. And, you know, who knows, maybe Twitter is going to end up in a much better financial position a year from now because of some of those hard business decisions that he made, because maybe he thought that, hey, we could do a lot more with less. And, you know, companies might see that and also try to emulate that thinking. Anyways, guys, those are kind of my thoughts on this topic. Are you guys out there also nervous about potentially getting cut or laid off? Drop some comments down below. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.